welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Tabby, and if it's your first time here, please, I would love it so much if you would press that subscribe button down below and even like this video. Today I am going to be leading you through three beginner-friendly yoga poses for grounding. So the sensation of grounding is one in which we can feel really safe and stable in our bodies. These are poses that I love to do when I'm feeling anxious or overwhelmed and just not really connected to the earth. So these poses can help you feel a lot more safe in the body that you're in and more down to earth and connected. So the first pose is child's pose. And there are many different variations of this one that you can do, which is great. So depending on your needs will depend on the variation that you do. So I like to come with my big toes apart, knees wide, usually just as wide as the yoga mat, and then just walk my fingertips forward towards the top of the mat and relax my head down to the mat. So this is a really great pose, a great starting point. You could also bring a block underneath your third eye and rock a little bit from side to side here. Especially if you're experiencing a bit of tension in the head, like if you have a headache or something, which can often come with anxiety. So that can be really nice. Another good grounding variation of child's pose is bringing the knees together, sweep the fingertips back, and lay on down. And remembering that when you're in your child's pose, just to notice where you feel your body in contact with the mat, and just with every exhale, let those points of contact sink heavier down into the mat. And so I like to stay here for 3 to 5 breaths depending on what my body needs. Beautiful. And then the second pose that I would recommend for grounding is great for after child's pose. Just come up high on the fingertips, roll through your spine, come onto your belly and onto your forearms for Sphinx pose. So this is another fantastic pose because you have all 4 limbs on the ground. You can press down through all 10 knuckles and the tops of your feet. What I like to do here is imagine that I'm drawing the mat back with my hands. So there's quite a lot of pressure in the forearms and the hands here. Ground down through the tops of the feet, squeeze your glutes, lift your chest, and close down your eyes. You can feel your belly on the mat, which can be really nice to know that the ground is beneath you. Draw the shoulders away from my ears and really just tune into my breath. Compressing through the lower back, feeling supported and strong. And again, you can just hold that for as many breaths as you like. I really love to come into that one after child's pose. It just seems to flow really well. And then the third and final pose that I would recommend for a sensation of grounding is a bit more complex. Well, it just depends on your anatomy and flexibility, but it's a yogi squat. So bring your feet a bit wider than hip width distance apart and sink your hips down low. Now, if you don't have the mobility, that's okay. There will be a variation for you. One variation can be using a block, just popping that under your sit bones and resting here. You want to aim to have your soles of the feet pressing down into the mat. But if you just don't have the flexibility through your feet, you could also roll up a towel and place it underneath the heels for a little bit of extra height and lift. I usually just like to go for the block variation, but making sure here that you have this sense of grounding in your lower body. So your feet are pressing down into the mat, your hips sink low, lower legs are really switched on here, but then your upper body has this sense of lift. So lifting through the chest, through the crown of the head. So it's that duality of your lower body grounding down into the mat as your upper body lifts up towards the sky. I'll show you this from the side as well. So toes are pointing out, heels are facing in, feet flat to the mat. Bring your palms together at heart center, gazing forward. Really good lower back release here. And that's a nice one to stay in for more breaths if your hips can hack it. Sometimes, depending on the day and how your body's feeling, it can be a little bit more difficult. So yeah, after doing those 3 poses, you're feeling a lot more connected to the earth. I just like to sit in Sukhasana, easy seat. And just extend my exhale. So what I mean by that is making your exhale longer than your inhale, just to relax your nervous system. So yeah, there you have it. 3 great grounding poses for beginners. You don't have to do a full-on flow to bring yourself back to that sense of safety and stability. So you've got Child's Pose, Sphinx Pose, and Yogi Squat. Feel free to try these out. Let me know down in the comments how they worked for you and if you liked them, and any modifications or variations that you tried that worked for you that maybe I can learn something from you. Thank you so much. Once again, if you liked this video, please like and subscribe. I would love to have you here in this little channel of mine. Thank you so much. Namaste.